Hello, good evening, one and all, for round number 2 for ERL Tier 2. We are back with the Netherlands for the second time this week. And, of course, Monday's race, if you haven't seen it already. As always, go check the stream out, the Iron Tier. It was a good race that was won in the end by the Haas driver of, I think, weren't Dimac. Who won it Monday? I remember it was a Haas driver. Just can't remember who won. That's always good memory. Anyway, who won it on Wednesday? Not Wednesday, Monday. It was. Let's have a quick look. It was Tom. So Tom won Monday. Around here, who isn't obviously racing tonight, as I don't see him in the list of drivers. In terms of last week's anyway winner for Tier 2, if I remember rightly, I think it was, I'm going to say, Danny Van Rooten, if I remember correctly. That is my best guess, who actually won it. That's, like, I am correct on it. Unless it was one of the McLarens, but I think it was Danny that won it last week. I'm pretty sure it was. Like, then it could have been the McLaren of, Nice Job, I think, as well. That's just my guess. In case, actually, the audio is coming through, give me a second. Because what I don't want is players to hear my voice and get distracted by, of course, basically me effectively want them not to have that issue, because that could be a distraction, and yeah, I'd feel guilty if it caused any one of them any issues. So anyway, Lewis is going to be one of the first cars around to set his lap time as he heads through Sector 1 and now into Sector 2. So down the back straight, this is the second DRS zone, only 2 DRS zones here. You've got this DRS straight, which obviously heads down into this chicane, and then the first DRS straight, the main DRS straight, which is between this corner, the last corner on the circuit, and obviously turn number 1. So those are your 2 DRS straights. Anyway, what time is this going to be by Lewis G? As he's going to come across the line now, and it's a 109.5. So 9.5s ready into this evening, and that's a very decent time to already set. Now, what is Arbegduri doing? Didn't have a great race on Monday, but of course we know he's a very talented guy, and therefore, given, well, we know he's very talented, I expect him to maybe bounce back and recover from his Monday form. Anyway, through the final corner he goes then for himself, and rounding that final turn now, the bank turn, I believe, or turn 20 or whatever it is, and he's going to come across the line and moves up onto provisional pole. So a 191, now we're here, so a few tenths away already from the 108s. So I imagine someone will do a 108. Vigo going slightly off the track. Here comes Danny Van Rooten, one of the contenders that almost took the win, or did take the win last week. It was either himself or Nice Job, but either way, for now goes on to provisional pole, and it's a 108.2, moving the bar substantially forward then here already. As we will then watch Strooms then here. I don't expect him to be quite as fast as some of the other drivers, but I do expect him to still be able to put in a decent lap. 48.2 for the middle sectors, a couple tenths down on what his teammate did, Arbegduri, as he'll come around the final corner now, and rounding that final turn, and crosses the line, does a 109.7. So actually a lot further away than I thought through that lap. I thought based on his middle sector, it might have been a bit closer, but certainly must have lost a lot of time through the final couple of corners. Anyway, here comes Kotos, who I think is just finishing a lap. And we'll now go back to Nice Job, who's on the medium compound tyre. So this is the first lap he's doing on a set of the medium. So therefore, I don't expect this to be up there with the guys on the soft. Certainly not up there with Robbo F96 and, of course, Danny Van Rooten. But could certainly, if he can get ahead of Ego and be substantially ahead of Ego, that'd be a very good effort indeed. Bit of a snap coming out of the final corner as he'll go towards the line now and is going to cross the line. It's a 1:09.9, so a few tenths ahead of Ego, not substantially ahead of Ego though. That must be stressed. Only a few tenths, about 5 tenths, but a few definitely errors in that lap. Certainly towards the end I saw. So I definitely don't think that's prime Nice Job at the moment. There then. So pretty much I'm not sure if anyone is on an improvement lab. I don't think they are. So we're literally now in that phase of qualifying where drivers that haven't actually done a lap are either in the pits or about to come out and maybe do a lap. Those drivers that have done a lap are on their way back to the pits or whatever they're doing. So, yeah. See if Lewis G is on a lap. He is actually on a lap. 7 thousandths up on his best time. So this could see improvement, but we'll have to wait and see until he gets to the line. But I think he's coming back into the pits then there. Kotos is 5 tenths down, so he's definitely not in the region to be challenging here. So yeah, we're literally next waiting on Oscar to do a lap, and then once Oscar does a lap, well, not sure who, it'll be Arbegduri and maybe Damac, and yeah, we're now seeing more cars take onto the circuit than here now. So here goes Oscar then across the line, and Oscar has now begun his lap into turn 1, through 2, flowing through 3. Little bit, looked a bit messy on the exit and entrance into 4. Looked like the car almost getting away, but looked okay. Still continuing on clearly with the lap, and actually goes purple sector 1. So through the high speed stuff, 6th gear through here, pretty much all the way. Then down a couple gears into 4th, take it nice and sharp, take all the exit on the road, trying to touch the curb. Then a little bit of snap of the car, the rear of the car getting ever so loose from him there, ever so slightly. But still, purple sector 2, so this is a good lap, 47.7 for the middle sector. And he's going to come around the final corner now. Open up the DRS nice and early. Use the banking. Take the half of the least rolling resistance. And what time is this going to be? It's a 1:08.6. So still a fair distance off his teammate Danny Van Rooten. But Oscar goes P3. And that makes it a Mercedes 1-3 then for now in this qualifying. So Arbegduri is on his second run here. Did a decent 1:09 for the first lap of his. Can he improve during this second run? Right now a bit down during the first sector, but let's see how the second sector materialises for Arbegduri. As he'll pass the McLaren, nicely staying out of the way there. Probably either of Koso, nice job. Anyway, round then the middle sector, and unfortunately has invalidated. So that will be his lap done and dusted for now. So who is next then on a lap? I think it would be Damac, but he doesn't seem to be on a quicker lap. How about Oscar? Is he going any faster? I don't think so. This will be coming back into the pits. So yeah, So I think it is going to be Lewis next up then here. Through the middle sector then. Or into the middle sector. One tenth up now through the middle sector, so tenth of the improvement would only see him right now move barely up into 6th, so this wouldn't be a huge improvement by Lewis, but it will be some form of improvement. As he ran the corner, final corner now, just actually improved by a tenth, but doesn't move up the positional order. So Honor Odell, bit squirmish on the exit, car all over the exit curb there, and for good measure 2 tenths down. So certainly first sector not been the one for himself, and well, can he recover this lap, or is he just gonna lose more time in this middle sector? Looks like a bit more of a cleaner, certainly middle sector from Honor Odell, but as he will go through the middle sector, he's actually managed to find almost half a second. So yeah, that's a mega improvement through the middle sector. Just think what this lap could have been without that exit mistake on the exit of turn 1. Could have probably been at least a few more tenths to the good, maybe over half a second to about 7-8 tenths, and yeah, that moves him up to 7th place to 1:08.9s, but certainly lost a couple tenths during that lap. That mistake would have cost him ever so dearly, and that could have probably been a 1:08.7, a 1:08.6, I'm going to say, had he not made the error. Now comes Piers, and he's coming into the pit lane. So Duday Lee has actually gone into P2, and so far the only driver to come within a few thousandths, 13 thousandths so far, of your pole sitter Danny Van Rooten. Here comes Robbo then. He was just over half a second off, or just under half a second, about 3 tenths off, but goes over the exit curb, and that will be his lap well and truly over then there. So we're now into that final phase of qualifying where drivers are going to be in the pits probably, and they'll come out eventually, but who is going to be the first one to blink? That is a real question, because don't think we're going to see many drivers do laps anymore, unless Robbo recharges his battery, but I think he'll come in as well. So yeah, it's going to get a very quiet track for now. However, Al Gary has exited, or started a new lap himself. So going a bit earlier than here. Hasn't actually set a lap time. One of 3 drivers so far not to set lap times. Unsainted is the other, of course, but Al Gary is one of the other 2 that haven't set a lap time. And first sector 24.4, so that's fairly okay. I have to see what the middle sector says, of course. Looks like a bit too much curb on the exit entrance to one of the corners. Anyway, through the middle sector. Let's see what his lap time is looking like. Bit off, roughly where Arbegduri was. So probably 1:09s, 1:10s maybe this is. So rounding the final corner now, and is going to come across the final corner, and it's a 1:10.2. So it does get him up the order into 16th, but yeah, not much of an improvement really. Only 16th, 10.2, not great, not brilliant, not bad either. But yeah, 16th, he probably will start then. So Coaster's next one to begin his attempt. Again, a bit earlier compared to what most of the grid will be doing. We see Lewis G now exiting the pits. and a few others. And unfortunately for Costa, that has seen him, well, invalidate. So he still could go again if he recharges the battery from here, but of course, not ideal situation. So I think he is trying to recharge that battery. Not sure he'll have enough to complete the entire lap, but we'll have to see. He is opening up DRS, indicating he probably is going again. And in the background, he's actually giving Lewis a tow. We'll keep our eye on Lewis because I don't expect much of an improvement from Costa on this second lap, but we'll have to wait and see. We will go back to him maybe, we'll see him jump up the order anyway if he does. Anyway, through the first sector for Lewis, he's about a second away from pole, just over it, and a big step out of the rear again on the exit. That's certainly going to lose him a bit of time, and is 23 thousandths down on his current best at the moment. Ferrari getting out of the way just about nicely, very close to being not out of the way, and is, as you can see, catching the McLaren of Costa in front. And is the McLaren going to give him a bit of a tow? Certainly might, as you can see the Williams drive up, not sure which one that is, getting out of the way nicely, but that was either Robbo or Piers who got out of the way there. But as we'll come through the final sector, Lewis G is going to have this big fat tow from the McLaren then here, who's also on a hot lap himself, coming now into the pits. And you can see Lewis was hunting for that tow and improves by about a tenth of a second to move himself up into the top 10. So right now he is in the top 10. Who is next? It is going to be Robbo. So Robbo begins his final run. So is one of the top 3 drivers currently in the qualifying, and currently within about 3 tenths of the pole, just over 3 tenths and 7 thousandths, splitting himself and Danny Van Rooten. First sector finding 57 thousandths, so finding ever so slightly the time he needs to find. Probably needs to find 6 tenths if he wants to be in the fight for pole, because I imagine, you know, Danny probably can find at least another 3 or 4, and maybe Dudelay can find 3 or 4 too as well. So currently a 10th up for Robbo. Certainly going to improve. Is it going to be enough of the improvement though to jump onto the front row or pole position for now in this qualifying? We'll have to very much wait and see as he'll cross the line very, very shortly. So what is he going to say to everyone? Misses out on pole, misses out on the front row. So Oscar, 10th down apparently. Who is next? I want to keep an eye on Danny Van Rooten and Dudelay. Dudelay is actually out of it, so we can disregard him from this session. So here comes Danny Van Rooten, finding another 2 tenths through the middle sector. So what can he do in this final sector, final part of the lap? Can he find those extra... Well, he's already found 2 tenths, but how much more can he find? Can he get into the 107s? That is going to be the question. Nope, just misses out on a 107. But it's a 108.35 thousandth lap time. So that's a very good effort by himself. Here comes a nice job to the line. Isn't going to go faster, neither is Kotos. So I think we've got our grid pretty much set, unless Storms can say anything, or Algary, but neither of them can. So that is your grid then for today's Dutch Grand Prix. And it is Danny Van Rooten taking a second pole position in a row. So literally just waiting for, not sure what, but waiting for the session just to end here. And then I'll go through your grid, I suppose. Who are we waiting on? Is it just Piano Jam? I think it is. Or the Haas. Getting put back in. Might be the Haas actually, of Valkyrie. There we go. I think the session should end now. There we go. So, session has officially ended, and that is then your starting grid. So, before we do the actual order, Dude Lay is going to lose out 5 positions, so he'll be probably down into 7. So everyone moving up 1 behind Dude Lay, at least from Vigo down. So Danny Van Rooten on pole. Then it'll be Robbo 2nd, 3rd Oscar, 4th will be Nice Job, 5th then Vigo, and then 6th will be Kotos, and 7th will be Dude Lay. 8th then will be Ono Dole, then it'll be Arbegduri in 9th and Lewis in 10th. Outside of the top 10 you have Demac, Piers, then Storms, Kosa, Piano Jam, Algri, Vouncey, St. Power, and then Strikey and Unsainted round out the back of the grid. So, strategy for this race should be a simple one stop, as usually they are in the game, at least. And, of course, when we go racing, well, we go racing, don't we? So, here we go then. 5 red lights are on, and it is lights out and away we go. Good start by Danny Van Rooten, gets away well. His teammate also following him in the process of doing so. Can he go around the outside of Robbo to make it a Mercedes 1-2? The answer to that is yes, he can. And Robbo now down into 3rd. 4th then currently behind. A little bit of a battle between Nice Job and Vigo. Vigo loses out there then. Nice Job stays in 4th. Then Dude Lay down in 6th, making up 1 position after serving 5th place grid penalty, already up into 6th. Then comes obviously Kotos and Arbegduri, followed by Onoyodul, and we've got a yellow flag for Unsainted, who I think just momentarily has had a spin. Otherwise, a very clean lap won by our drivers so far. Algri and Piers battling away. Piers in 14th. Defends the position well against Algri, who was in 15th. Then Strike, he's made up a few positions, racing on the hards, and we'll get up the tyre graphic now. There we go, and there we go, so that's a lot better. So there's your tyre strategies, as we see Piers trying to make the move then on Kosa, coming down the main straight. He's got a good opportunity, certainly into turn 1. Also, we're seeing a few others make up position, as we see Onoyodul go side by side with Storms. Onoyodul have a little bit of contact with Storms, but in the end, neither, well, turn out into a bad incident. Algri, I think, is off the track. And what is he doing? Hope this isn't a deliberate safety car attempt, because he sat there for quite some time, and now he's only just got going. I think that might have been a deliberate safety car attempt. Anyway, back to the actual racing. As we see a bit of incident between Kotos and Dudaley plummeting down the order. Same with Kotos. Both of them having contact then there on the exit. Arbegduri has also lost a position. Arbegduri is going to take the position back of Strikey almost immediately, though. So I'm not sure whether that was. But, yeah, Algary, I'm not going to lie, deliberately trying to cause a safety car there. That's not really honourable to your fellow competitors, mate. At the back of the grid. Really not honourable. But nonetheless, as we see, Kosa and Piers go side by side. Kosa takes P10 away from Piers, and these two having a decent battle on the track as they head up through then the sand dunes, I suppose, where all the, well, gravel tracks are. Right now, Piers in the Williams looking to get up into the top 10 to join currently his teammate of Robbo, who's in the top 10 himself. So, Algary, 3-second penalty for obviously multiple warnings. He'll be very much soon a lap down, and once he is a lap down, very hard to recover from there. Nice job takes the fastest lap so far of the race, as we're seeing a move between Ono O'Doul and Storms. Storms on the outside, Ono O'Doul up the inside, but goes a bit deep. This is going to allow Storms to come back at then Ono O'Doul. Ono O'Doul then just goes almost into the back of actually Storms, the Red Bull, but in the end just misses out, and that is Lewis getting all out of shape in the background behind the Mac then here for P6. But yeah, that was obviously a misjudged overtake by Ono O'Doul. Just didn't keep the car tight enough to the apex apron as he probably could have done, and in the end that certainly cost him the chance to get ahead of the Red Bull. Right now these two having a very nice decent battle as well on the track for 6th. So a lap for the race. Right now your top, well, your race leaders still pretty much remaining the same. Little bit of a gap emerging between first and second, still though within the DRS quite easily. We see then Robbo dart towards the inside. Not sure why that is, maybe trying to break the toe from Nice Job, but then they've all got a toe on each other, surely no. As Ono O'Doul then, attempt number 2, can he get this time the job done? Gets the car, well, a little bit carried, a little bit more speed maybe that time, arguably, but at the same time had the turning a whole lot better and is through and now up into 6th ahead of Stooms, who is in the now 7th and will be chased down by the Mac. But it's one thing passing, of course. Can he now break away and try and chase after Vigo, who's about 4 seconds already clear of this group of drivers, which is quite a distance. A little bit of a mistake from Ono O'Doul there, which is certainly going to allow Stooms still within the DRS range, and therefore could give him the chance to come back at the AlphaTauri. Obviously it is AlphaTauri right now versus Red Bull. You wouldn't see this in real life, because Red Bull would be 20 seconds up the road by now. But, oh, that's a big mistake on the exit there for Ono O'Doul, who is certainly going to be under pressure coming down the main straight. So it is now Strooms with the DRS. And can he now get the job done? Strooms then goes for the outside line. Ono O'Doul tried to outbrake the Red Bull of Strooms. Strooms is on the inside. Ono O'Doul on the inside for the next one. Ono O'Doul just gets ahead as we get then to the next couple of turns. And that's the AlphaTauri just able to maintain his defence. Of course, mistake led to error, led to Stroom's attack, but in the end led to Oneodul maintaining the position then here. Now it's Stroom's coming under a bit of pressure from Damac himself, but DRS is going to sort of like disable that and allow Stroom's just to settle down the nerves a little bit then as they head on to lap 7. This is a great battle actually, to be fair, watching here. So Stroom's still got DRS, this time no mistake by the AlphaTauri. So it should be a lot harder to pass than the AlphaTauri. Looks like the AlphaTauri driver's got a good and fair amount of straight line speed. Anyway, as they go into turn 1, Stroom still with the outside line. It is still Oneodul with the inside line. But this time Oneodul is further ahead, so it's a little bit easier to defend as they headed into turn 1. And Oneodul able just to stay ahead of his rival for now. So up over the hill, see the different lines, touches the gravel ever so slightly. So lap 7, 30 laps to go. Stroom's taken a much tighter line, maybe looking after the tyres a bit better potentially here for the Red Bull. But let's wait and see. DRS obviously fully enabled on all the cars now after the first three laps. Anyway, round the final corner, Stroom's looking ever so close, so this should be a quite easy pass, I reckon. Here we go then, Stroom's going on the inside, this time with the DRS, a lot further ahead as we get to turn 1. Still though, Oneodul comes back at him on the brakes, goes for a bit of a lunge. And yeah, Oneodul couldn't get the job done. Again going for a lunge, still having a bit of those brake issues. Not sure whether that's, well, I don't think it's deliberate, just misjudging his braking from where the car in front is, obviously. Almost cost himself though more than the Red Bull. And yeah, hopefully he's got no front wing damage from any of that, because it's, well, can be easy to pick up front wing damage, especially if it's minor. Just ever so slightly can affect your car, make the tyres wear, give your car a bit more understeer, and it's then a bit of a snowball effect. Anyway, we do have a yellow flag out in the sector, and it's our first safety car of the evening. Comes at lap 8, so for the harder runners, not ideal necessarily. For the medium runners though, this is kind of decent timing, because for those on mediums, certainly, you know, can probably get their hards to the end. However, I will stress, we sort of had a similar situation, similar time to the other night, where we got our first, I think, full car safety car. We had a couple of virtuals up to the other point, but yeah, similar timing in terms of when both, you know, tiers had the safety car come out. And in both cases, of course, well, in the other case the other night, we did have to see more stops made from even the harder runners, because it was probably a bit too far to stretch your tyres in the end. And I wonder whether that's going to be a similar story tonight anyway. The only thing is, Strikey's now a bit of the car out of position here. He is obviously decided to stay out, hasn't made a stop, and is on hard compound tyres. So yeah, how much of a factor can he become? You know, we haven't really seen much of his pace so far, but well, we certainly didn't see it in qualifying, as he didn't settle up. We certainly didn't see it so far in this race, really. So I do wonder whether, you know, he's, well, got pace to be at the front, and if not, how much of a problem could he cause? So, safety car in this lap then. Here we go then, back to the racing green now, and it will be Strikey to, well, do the safety car restart. Of course, not really too sure what his experience is or how he does it. Anyway, Danny Van Rooten leaving a bit of a buffer to the AlphaTauri, has to be said. Nothing wrong with that, but could be a bit of a likelihood he's caught napping then here, but he is closing that gap now a little bit further up now, so getting a little bit more ready for the green. And as then we go back to racing green, we are back to racing conditions, and it was a bit of a late restart by Strikey, but nothing wrong with that. Danny Van Rooten already making the pass down the inside. It's going to affect Robbo though. Robbo's going to get held up for at least a couple of corners, and this is going to be a key opportunity for then Danny Van Rooten to try and maybe hold or build a bit of a gap, and he's already built that 1 second gap, which could be so crucial in terms of the outcome of this race, because if he can build a second lead over some of these competitors, just makes his life a little bit easier, as he'll give less DRS away to his rivals. And obviously so far, you know, he's had a, well, DRS train so far behind him, but if he can just build that lead, as I say, helps him out. Anyway, we are seeing obviously cars overtake Strikey fairly fastly, so obviously a bit unsurprised due to the fact, you know, 10 lap hold medium hards versus obviously about 2 lap hold hards, or 1 lap hold really. So Danny Van Rooten doing the fastest lap at the moment in time. Got about half a second lead though. Robbo has brought that lead down, but nice job staying with them. Very crucial, that is, to take note. Also, Mercedes split their strategy now, as we see Strikey and DeMac going to be next, but before they're next, Storms and DeMac have got to settle themselves out here and sort out their differences, and in the end DeMac comes out on top. However, does have a penalty. However, he will be now the next driver to go and attack Strikey for what is now P6. Here then goes DeMac. Is he going to go for it down the straight? No. Waiting a little bit longer. So Strikey holding his own actually a little bit here, to be honest. He got past through the first few, or first 5, fairly quickly, but holding his own overall, not making really many mistakes. Anyway, here he goes then. DeMac down the inside into turn 1, gets the move done. Next up is going to be Storms and Strikey. Storms is then going to have to wait behind through then the next few corners, and a contact between the Red Bull pair so far, and Arbegduri is going to come out ahead, and it could be even more contact, and it's a big crash actually. Piers is out of the race. Oh no, that's a huge crash then between Dudele and Piers, and that is them out. Costa, I think, has actually been caught out by it as well. He's lost a front wing, and that has brought out our second safety car of the evening. That is a absolutely monstrous one there. Caught out several cars. I think Lewis might have been involved there too. Lost his front wing. Who else had, well, been part of that? Not sure where that started. It looked like it started between the Red Bulls and then just, you know, spiraled a bit down the grid. So, yeah, that is a absolute huge crash, and unsurprisingly, safety car is out, and drivers are into the pits to fix whatever damage they've got. Obviously, if they've got floor damage, that is pretty much unrepairable, or rear wing damage, but if they've got other damage, just like a front wing, they should be able to fix it and continue on well and truly in this race still. But that is now 18 drivers, 17 now remaining. So, safety car is going to be in for the second time this evening. And we still haven't actually reached the halfway point as of yet in this race. About 2-3 laps until that. So, about just over 20 laps to go. Obviously, for the hard runners, well, every single safety car, I suppose, is only going to be a bit of a bonus. For the medium runners, this isn't ideal overall, but isn't the worst thing in the world. Anyway, Danny Van Rooten is going to lead us away, and he's already gone then there, out of the final corner, not wasting time like Strikey did going in that last part, but just getting on with it and maintains then his lead down into turn one, but is closely followed by Robbo. Then it's the two Red Bulls behind after nice job Oscar and Vigo. The Red Bulls down in 6th and 7th. Then come Kotos, and then the Alfa Romeo of Unsainted and Piano Jam. Then it's Valsey, but here goes then Strikey going around the outside of Valsey and gets the move done in a very nice style and fashion there. Of course, is on now the fresher tyre, so therefore would expect him to have a bit more pace now, unlike the last time we saw him on that older tyre. Still, I have to see how he does and how he gets on. Piano Drum making a move, Strikey going for it as well. Strikey going around the outside of two cars then tonight. Demac also going for a move then on Valsey and gets that move done. Demac's next target is going to be Unsainted then here. But Valsey is going fairly slow, not going to lie. Not sure if he's got damage, whether he's one of the cars that got accidentally caught up in the incident before that other safety car. Might have been, because it don't look like he's got much pace to offer at the moment. But Onodol is going to move up then in position. Same with Kosa. And the next car only to pass him will be St. Power, who right now is in 17th. So Valtsy losing a lot of positions then. Bear in mind though, he's on older tyres. Anyway, Strikey up to 9th. So next up then is going to be Demac and Unsainted. Demac trying to poke his car in there, but he's going to stick his car into the next corner and will have the inside line. Unsainted will. Unsainted hangs it then on the inside. It is then Demac on the outside. Demac eventually squeezes on by, and no DRS enabled as of yet, but gets the position done. Now, next will be Lewis G to attack Unsainted. Unsainted really under pressure, got about 3-4 cars who can probably, at this moment in time, go for it. Onodell goes it down the inside of Lewis G, kind of pushed Lewis off the road, but I suppose that was fair and hard racing in the end. But if it does get reported to the streets, wouldn't shock me either. And a little bit of contact between the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo, and it is Unsainted spinning out into the gravel, and unfortunately that sees Unsainted then down all the way to 17th, but has released then the chasing pack of the McLaren, of the AlphaTauri, of Demac and Piano Jam. Strikey trying to get back into this race a little bit with the drivers ahead of him at the moment. So the likes of Kotos and Strooms and Arbegduri, who currently now are 6th and then 7th. Also Vigo down 3 seconds already in these opening few laps. So the leaders of top 4 pretty much are your same top 4 as before, breaking away they are from the chasing pack. And a bit of contact between Kotos and Arbegduri, I think it is. Arbegduri spun around. Arbegduri now trying to get back into it. And Arbegduri is now down into 15th. I don't think he's got damage, dare I say. However, even if he hasn't got damage, he certainly has had his race damaged for now, down in that position. Not ideal. 2 tough races potentially in a row coming Arbegduri's way around the Netherlands. Just not his circuit, is it? As we see Demac off the track, and Demac now rejoins the track, and he's down to 13th, so loses the position to the likes of Onodil. And we've now got a safety car. It's our 3rd safety car of the evening, and yeah, drivers into the pits for new sets of tyres, for servicing and whatever you like. And well, 16 laps to go. I think it's safe to say that mediums should get you home. However, I think the tyres to watch out for now, well, Robbo gone for softs. That's a very bold call. Will be fast, certainly initially to begin with, but it's okay to be fast. However, well, the big issue is, can you get home on those tyres? You probably can, but yeah, it's a bit of a long stretch. So, safety car should be back into pits this lap, and we've now got about 14 laps of racing when it does. Right now, Lewis is your race leader, currently on the hards. However, I don't expect him to be much of a threat to Danny on those tyres. I think Danny will breeze past quickly. Question is, how quick can Robbo get past, obviously, the chasing pack? And also, again, how quick can Nice Job get past as well? Because there is a couple of cars actually that could interfere. I'm not sure whether Kosa will just move out of the way for his teammate of Nice Job. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, where will Lewis go? I think Lewis is about to go now, and he is, and we are now back under racing green conditions. Then here in ERL for the third time this evening for our third safety car. Is Lewis going to be getting, well, demoted straight away? The answer to that is yes, he is. And that is now already Danny Van Rooten up into the top, into top position already. But look at Lewis, look at Robbo carve his way through the field, immediately wasting no time himself, and moves up ahead into then second place. 1 second though behind your race leader. So next up is Nice Job. Nice Job moves, well, Kosa moves out of the way of Nice Job pretty much, I believe there. And there we go. So Nice Job going to go for it down the inside. A little bit of contact though between himself and Lewis. And that is Nice Job then plummeting down the order. Then here down to 10th. Oh no, Dill gets past Bouncy. So what that's actually done is actually created some breathing distance between Danny Van Rooten and Robbo. Robbo sets the new fastest lap of the race, but yeah, big breathing distance for now. Robbo and Danny Van Rooten here. Danny Van Rooten really has got the gap and really probably in the best position to go on and win this race. But I'll tell you who isn't in the best position is Kosa and Strooms coming together on the track then there. Almost taking each other out into the barrier. Nice Job makes it back past now and is up into 9th. His next target will be obviously the Red Bull and his teammate. Let's then the Red Bull through. Kosa. Is he going to put up a fight against his teammate? Looks like he is this time, so not going to be as friendly as the first time, even though we didn't actually see the pass, so we don't even know if he was being friendly or not. But yeah, Kosa is certainly being probably very irritating to a lot of the drivers out there at the moment. As the Nice Job will blast past down the main straight. Also here comes Demac. Demac looks like he's got good overdrive as well. But also look at Ono O'Doul going down the middle, 3 into 1 is certainly not going to work, and they have crashed into the barrier. It looks like they've all managed to keep their cars going, but 3 into 1 there, nowhere near wise, and Demac uses a reset to track. Not sure that it's entirely legal, but who knows. But yeah, nonetheless, won't complain about that. But yeah, in the end, not ideal. 3 into 1 just really didn't go. I don't know what Ono O'Doul was trying there in the end against Costa and Demac. Just never going to work that one. Sorry to say. But back to the front 4, and Oscar is now past Vigo. Vigo right now the one under a bit of pressure here to try and stay with Oscar. Kotos though is right up the Aston Martin's gearbox, and looks like he might be able to get past here, down into turn 1. Vigo under the pressure, but is then we're going to see a move from Kotos. Kotos sent it. Kotos has got it, and they go off the track, pushing each other wide. And that's going to allow Strikey in to get involved. Strikey going around the outside. Is Strikey going to still try and hold it? It looks like he is, but in the end, as we get to the next part of the track, Looks like Strikey remains ahead. And Strikey then down to 6th. Vigo still holds on to 5th, but Kotos and, well, all of them have lost a bit of time to Oscar. Oscar will say thank you very much. Securing my P3, are we? Pretty much that's what he probably is saying to the others. Or will be. Just thanking them for the work they've done there. Anyway, on and upwards, I suppose. So, Vigo and Kotos, been here before. Vigo, too far back, surely, make a move. Yep, is the answer. As Strooms then passed by, nice job for 7th, and obviously Strikey, Vigo and Kotos have got obviously a very quick McLaren coming at them all, so nice job will be probably trying to get past them. Maybe, I think, if Nice Job can get up into 4th here, that'd be a very good result for Nice Job now. I know that probably isn't the result he wanted in the end, but that would be a nice result for the McLaren driver. Arbegduri right now down in 9th, being outraced by his teammate Strooms. Piano Jam right now in 10th, currently occupying the final top 10 position. Other than that, Ono O'Doul in 11th, Unsainted in 12th, St. Power 13th, 14th is Demac, and 15th is then Valsey. And currently still running in, well, the points, of course. 0 point, every position scores points, but running still at the back of the grid, probably hoping for a safety car at this potential stage, is Coaster down in 16th. Not been his day. Albegduri also not really his day either so far. 2 difficult races in a row, but this one I'm pretty sure if he ends 9th, I'm pretty sure he'll take it. He'll say thank you very much, and glad that we are not doing Netherlands again this season, probably, if he takes 9th on the track today, because didn't have a great result in the Monday tier, in the Iron tier, and currently not having the best of races either here in tier 2. So, about 8 laps or 9 laps to go. Be 8 laps after this one. Right now, Robbo does lead, but Robbo does have obviously the softer compound, and eventually it will get to a stage where, you know, the softs become a worse tyre than the mediums, mediums become a better tyre due to the fact it's more durable, and that the tyre where, you know, just becomes too much for Robbo's Williams. But right now still looks okay as we head on to lap 28 of this race. Trouble is, gaps have emerged, so not really much fighting to bring you, so we'll just go on to the battle for 1st and 2nd. That is right now the closest battle on track. So, lap 28 complete, and lap 29 about to commence. Then here. So, lap 29 has now officially commenced. Kotos is actually catching Oscar for what is right now P3. Nice Job hasn't made the strides I thought he would make. Thought he would have probably closed a little bit more up to Strikey and Vigo by now, but clearly not. So, gaps are just stabilising. Demac is making a pass, I believe, down in turn 1, but he's got that one, I think, done. However, we're going to go watch about a full 13th, 14th. Not really this stage in the race, no offence. Probably more important to see what's going on for first and second right now. Right now, what is going on for first and second is really a tyre war, but Danny Van Rooten has a significant advantage. So it's not if he gets past, it's when is he going to pass, and maybe this is going to be the lap that he will come past. Robbo does go defensive to the inside, 7 laps to go. So Robbo leads as we head into lap 30. As we see now Strikey getting past then Vigo down into then 5th, 6th, and Strikey makes up another position on then Kotos and Vigo going side by side. Vigo in the end backs out, but Kotos really looking like he's under some serious mounting pressure here. The only other thing though, this has again allowed that gap between Oscar and of course Strikey to stretch out even further, because it was around 2 seconds, 1-2 seconds. Now it's up to about 3-4 seconds almost between Oscar and Strikey. So looking very good race for Oscar at the moment, looking a very good race for Mercedes in second and third. Even if they fail to get first, that would still be a decent race result anyway. What can Vigo do? It is Kotos with the DRS. Kotos coming back at then Strikey here. Down the inside, Strikey will, Kotos will go. Kotos gets the move done nicely on the exit in the end. And that is Kotos back up to 4th. But this battling certainly not helping them with the fight up ahead. And it is actually putting them into the clutches now of Nice Job with about 5 laps, 6 laps to go. So this has sort of reignited the spirits, certainly on my end. It's becoming just a little bit of a dull race, if I'm going to be brutally honest. And once again, just as it was getting dull, it spices up a little bit. That's what I like to see. So, who is going to be, out of the 4 of them, under the most pressure? Right now, Kotos looks like he's just regained his rhythm as we head on to 32. And now the gap out front's 3/10. Go quickly back to that, and in fact, wise to do so. Here we go then. Danny Van Rooten going around the outside into turn 1. Did have the DRS for the assistance, but got the move done later on into the turn and takes the lead of the Grand Prix. But here then goes Kotos and Strikey side by side through then these sections of corners. Vigo then is going to have the opportunity, goes up the inside into then the bank turn of turn 4-5. And Vigo comes out ahead then of Kotos. Kotos down into 6th then here. And Kotos then loses the position to the Aston Martin and to the AlphaTauri. So next up is going to be Nice Job. But Nice Job right now in 7th. But these drivers fighting has almost seen them now full 5 seconds behind the driver next up ahead of him. So lap 32, that would be 33. Are we going to see another pass for the lead? Yes, we are. It is going to be Robbo trying to go around the outside. Both leave each other room. And in the end, Danny Van Rooten sees that attack off. And we do have a yellow flag actually out in the final sector. Could this cause a late safety car? We saw a late safety car yesterday. Could we see one today? We are, however, pretty close to the limit, I think. So that might just see safety car not get deployed then here. Anyway, lap 33 with about 4 laps remaining. Then Right now, the battle for fourth is the most lively battle on the track. Vigo has pulled out a bit of a gap to the Avatario Strikey, but Strikey is still there though, and we'll have the DRS as we come down the main straight once more. Also, Robbo going to have DRS. Robbo going to the inside now. Obviously did get past on the outside, but gets the move done and is now back into the lead. Back to the battle for fourth. Then here, Strikey and Vigo going for it. Strikey down the inside as well, just like obviously Robbo, and gets the move done and moves himself up into fourth. Nice job now up into sixth, getting past Kotos at some stage during all of that. So, lap 34. Which one of these drivers is going to come home in fourth? Also, who's going to take the win? As we see them close up to each other. Danny Van Rooten very close to the gearbox. And now a little bit of a gap smudging there, but not much. But you would suspect with the DRS assistance, this should be a fairly simple swap between Danny Van Rooten and then Robbo. And there we go. That is Danny Van Rooten back into the lead. The only thing I would say, I don't really want to say, you know, too much, but Danny Van Rooten certainly might be sandbagging a little bit here. Could be. Just could. I get the gut instinct feeling. If he's got a bit more pace to deploy. But what's actually happened to Kotos, no idea. But he's obviously around and is now down to 9th due to whatever has happened to him. Looks like he's spun on the exit or been spun. So that takes them one less car away from this group, from this fight, from this battle for right now. What is then here? 4th place. It's now between Vigo, Strikey. Nice job. Nice job. Bit of a tough one today, but nice job. Has raced well. Just that incident captured him out and, of course, plummeted down the order, unfortunately, for his sake. But right now is sitting fairly pretty in 6th place. Could turn into 4th. At the moment, he's got a good opportunity. Here goes Strikey then. And it's 2 going on Vigo for the price of 1. Strikey then on the outside. Nice job on the inside. Nice job. Gets the position done. Has to back out on Strikey, but gets the move into then that turn. 1 lap to go then. This is actually the final lap, I've just realised. And yeah, Danny Van Rooten, unsurprisingly, pulling away. I did say he probably was sandbagging, and indeed, I think he might just have been there. He had about 86% battery. Now it's down to about 20%. Might be even going for fastest lap attempt here. Right, between Vigo and Nice Job and Strikey, who's going to come out here? Nice Job going for the move. Who's going to come out on top? I think it's going to be then Nice Job or Strikey, but Danny Van Rooten wins the Netherlands Grand Prix. Robbo P2. Oscar is going to come home P3. Who's going to win then between Strikey and Nice Job? Nice Job, it's a drag race to the line. I think actually going to go to Nice Job. Or was it Strikey? It is actually Strikey by 1,000th of a second. Vigo comes home P6. Strooms P7, Arbegduri crosses the line 8th, bit of a better result for him today. Then Kotos in 9th, Piano Jam 10th. And we'll go further back for the Mac. Might actually get demoted here. 5-second penalty for Damac, so we'll get demoted. Ono Adele finishes 11th, Damac in 12th. 13th, Unsainted. Saint Power is about across the line now and finishes in 14th. And Kosa is going to be your final race finisher today. As Valsey got lapped, I believe, there, so finishes a lap down. And that is your Dutch Grand Prix for round 2 of this Netherlands Championship. Not a bad race. Not the best, but not the worst either. And sort of, I'll give it probably about 8. You know, it was a good race actually. Good moments, good battles. You know, decent amount of safety cars overall, and eventually a race winner. So Danny Van Rooten takes the second race victory of the season, takes the first race victory, I believe, of his season overall, but takes another podium crucially as well. Robbo P2, then it's Oscar P3, Strikesy is in P4. Nice job. 5th, 6th is Vigo, 7th is Strooms, then 8th is Albegduri. Then 9th we have Kotos, then 10th is Piano Jam. Then outside the top 10 we have Ono Odell, then Demac, then Unsainted St. Power in 14th, and Costa is in 15th. Valancy is in 16th and is your last finisher for today, but a lap down. Lewis, then Piers and Dudele and Alguri all are the non-finishers today, unfortunately. Alguri was the first, though, has to be stressed. Fastest lap actually went to Robbo, and in terms of my driver of the day, it's got to be Strikey, 19th to 4th. Brilliant race from him. Done a fantastic job, actually. Fought cleanly, and yeah, overall, I think did a really, really good job from himself overall. Something he can be proud of. Anyway, that has been ERL Tier 2 today. And until next week, see you all then. Until Monday, I'll be back then with another episode or live race of then Tier 1 or Iron Tier. And see you all then for Monday's stream. Have a good weekend. See you all soon.